think it's working.
Let's have a
How
look.
did you do that?
I am not even online.
Yeah, I can't see it.
These appear to be working. Okay, I think I know what I done wrong last time. I think what confuses the thing is when I use it. Nah, fuck it, who cares? Right, anyway, it works.
Welcome to our possible one-shot. Probably will all be, since it's only a quick start. Candela Obscura. We decided we were going to give this a go, since we like Cthulhu, we like playing, and we didn't have anything better to do tonight. We will begin. Now, could you all introduce your characters? We will start with James.
Hey, well, I am going to be playing the Mr. John McKenzie, and he is a little bit of a musician, a little poor fellow musician. He plays for B coins here and there, but he likes to be jamming down in the pub every now and then. He's has something happen to him, and he's looking for a cure.
And now Lee.
Yes, hello. I'm Neville Vanderlight of the Colton Vanderlights. I've recently attained my professor status at the university, and I've decided to join the Candela Obscura to search for my cousin, who's went missing under rather mysterious circumstances. You still know what I look like? I look like a man.
That was
He's
great.
wearing pantaloons.
These are trousers. I got these tailored for me. I would have, but I have no money, so I just bought them from a shop.
My father got them for me.
Well, my uncle.
And
Look at you, I get stuck with hand-me-downs from my father.
I'm sorry, hand-me-downs?
I like when someone older than you, taller than you, just gives you their clothes because you
I
can't
believe
afford
poor
anyone.
people do this.
Oh.
and
Hold his hand
Rachel,
over his
if
mouth.
you'd like to describe your character.
Her name is Eleanor Fox. She is dressed like a really fancy old-fashioned kind of lady. She has a very dark black dress on. She has a little petticoat and a little sort of amulet about there. And, well, where else would an amulet be? Anyway.
It's one of the less popular butt amulets she wears.
Oh, wow.
You take a mark in brain damage, everybody, since
And we've lost Sally.
we had to endure
Yeah,
that.
oh, shit. You got me, Leah. I can't remember what I was gonna...
Describing how your character looks, Rachel.
I have a butt amulet to start.
You'd say
She has
black
a
dress and an
butt
amulet.
Oh no, don't say that.
Sorry.
I'll put
You've really...
hashtags up.
okay. Oh, her friend was murdered, which is why she joined the guild, and we are called the Misfits. And my brain's fried because of Lee, and I don't know what to say anymore. So,
The circle
Sally,
as a whole. The circle as a whole is called the Misfits. That is the group amongst the Candela Obscura. That there are multiple circles within it. Sally, would you like to describe your character, please?
Please shut up. So my character is called Geraldine Oak, and she's a fighter, a big lady, but strong. She wears manly-ish clothes, but it's pantaloons and a waistcoat and things like that, and a little cap. I know, very sexy. And she's wanting to save the world and save it from being overtaken or harmed in any way by the, what they called, like the magical realm.
The phenomenon is what the Candela Obscura calls it. It's a phenomenon. It's things that bleed into the Fairlands.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what she's wanting to do, and I think it'll be quite fun to play.
I will inform many viewers that this is our first go at this. I don't know what Provoked does to decide to stream it, but you're going to see your first attempt at it. And I'm pretty sure I am two of us are the only ones that have read the rules. So this will be interesting.
Hi, Zach. How are you, mate?
Hello.
It's always nice.
Hey,
when Zach
welcome.
pops in.
So our first decision is Where in the Fairlands do you want your lighthouse to be, which is your home base? As well.
Okay, quick question. What is the lighthouse exactly? Is that our base of operations?
It's your base of operations. It's like a giant library dedicated to the phenomenon. There is also, it's not very accurate on how it says it in the quick start. And I've not watched the show to
So
know
it's
that.
not actually a
But it
lighthouse.
seems like there's a portal to a vault that everyone in the everybody that has access to a lighthouse can get into. And it's called the.
it's not safe.
It's not safe. It's for knowledge and magic and stuff. Things that you're
So we are not
trapping.
safe in it.
You can have a safe in it.
Sally means physically safe.
Oh no, you're safe in it. As far as I'm aware, but I'm trying to remember the name
The
of
bit
the
I'm
place.
hung up on is there's a portal inside it to a giant library, or we have a giant library.
It is both.
Okay.
Basically, lighthouses, as Candela Obscura evolved through the ages, they attempted to find the secure and secure the effects of bleed. And
So
investigators
N can teleport into our home, sort of
that's
thing.
shared amongst you by the whole place.
Just
Shared
us.
as a circle. There's multiple lighthouses.
Right. So we have a lighthouse, but other people have got lighthouses around the city. But we all got like a.
So
a
we could
magic
go to
door
another
that we walk
lighthouse.
through, and it turns up into some big library. Yeah. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
called the
I
Fourth
get it.
Pharos. It's a vault located within the flare that houses phenomena to keep them from corrupting the world swiftly. Basically, it sounds like, see how that wee place the Ghostbusters send the ghosts?
Ah yes. Ah yes.
This is ridiculous.
I like to think it works on Stargate rules where we have to punch in the location we have to go to. So unless we tell anyone the location of our lighthouse and put in the code, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, then that will take us back, and no one else can come in the back door.
The Fourth Pharos is separate. The Chapter House archives is what you all have access to. And it's every chapter house, the secret meeting location for each Candela Obscura circle, containing highly protected collections of books, artifacts, and records. So you are separate. You don't have access to them from it.
Okay. We broke Sally, and she is not on board with this I really think they're really glossing over the teleportation technology, to be honest. It's like, that's a big deal.
It's not teleportation. It's like a world. It's like a dimensional shift thing.
Oh, yeah,
That's
fine.
even cooler.
Yep.
Which is what the flare sounds like. It sounds like things are coming from another dimension.
I like to think that's what they
And it is the flare is the place that these things are coming from. So it's like a little
is it
safe.
like straight Doctor Strange with his little magic tricks? Is it a bit like that then?
I like to
Can
think
be.
they pretend it's that, but actually you just open the door and there's a slide, and you just go down the slide.
From what
In
I
ours, obviously.
pictured it is see where the
It's a
light
little
bulb is in a
scaler.
typical lighthouse.
Scaler.
Yeah.
I just pictured it as a big light that you walk into it and you sort of appear in the archive. Archive, sorry.
No,
I'm just
archive is way
imagining
better.
in a nice fancy building.
Yeah, look, I'm on board. Either, I mean, like, whatever.
We're probably making a huge deal of this, and it's
Yeah, for long, probably.
This is effectively just to give you a
It
quick
can
way
be-
to research it. That's all it's to do. It's because we don't have the internet.
Yeah.
We have a thing. So this is what you have. Yeah.
We can have it where you guys suggested, and she'll just go there in disguise. That's what we are to live there.
I mean, we could describe this could be a charity outreach
thought it was a
centre where
home.
you are working with these people. It doesn't have to be like, oh no, I don't want to touch the purse. It could just be like rich people did do charity work. Don't know why I said that.
Not me.
Not me. Fuck them purse. I mean, that literally, obviously. Okay, yeah. So we're in the red light district. Boom, done. We've got our magical portal that we can go through. Lamp district. Sorry. Yeah, the red lamp.
Okay.
We have a house. Yeah.
Now, I must admit that I'm playing this to how they are asking us to play it. I would not normally read this long a thing, but it does specifically say I have to read it out. So I'm going to do it as the game's asked me, but this is your opening. A riot of sounds radiates from the New Fair World exhibition, where once these city streets were filled with the screaming of civilians, there is now laughter of children. The echoing of gunfire has been replaced with the pop of roasting caramel corn. The explosions of enemy bombs are now crackling of electrified inventions. Even 3 years after the war, it feels almost incongruous to hear the wild noise of happiness. Carry with you, as all aliens do, the weight of the last great war. On this Memorial Day, in celebration of the military implementation of electricity, the incredible power that forced otherwhere to withdraw from the region. New Fair hosts an exhibition of advancement every year. Today, the district of Briar Green is a new world, transformed by colourful flags. Each street is lined with the stalls of a pop-up market, and children scurry among the crowds, dressed in their finest. On display, there's rows after rows of inventions, the likes of which you've never seen. Come see the electromagnetic elevator. Use radar technology to find your missing sheep, madam. Tired of buttoning your shirt every workday? Try the amazing zipper, sir. Best of all, the entire district smells of cotton candy and caramel corn. When we finally make it through the cacophony into Briarbank College and its exhibition hall, the world seems to forget the rules by which it operates. Here, the bright sun is dimmed by a dust-filled darkness, and the outside noise is compacted into a weighty hush. The hall is filled with the whispering of industrial giants, exchanging vast sums of money. The invention in these rooms are titanic, the very air smouldering with static buzz. Electric screams, silence, and speakers with a regular staccato, sending the bravest eyes looking up to the lightning that dances across the ceiling. We wander in silence through the gallery, listening to the daring inventors perched on bespoke stages, evangelizing their work. If you stand over here, sir, there now. Don't be afraid. The X-ray machine will only show us your bones, nothing more. But you'll have to hand me the items in your pocket, sir. Thank you very much. I always wanted to go watch. This goes on. There are flyers throughout the hall of a bright, almost iridescent green. In the dim light, the pages seem to glow. And in the electric flashes, they nearly sparkle. We follow them like a trail of breadcrumbs to a massive crowd. High on the stage before us stands a beautiful woman, Vera Montgomery, swirling in a glowing green dress. She is a beam of light incarnate as she parades before a massive sign, a word painted in the same eerie green hue, Undark. Over the gasp of the crowd, we cannot hear the voice of the man who stands with her, but it's clear that he's highlighting the features of the pigment. The crowd erupts in cheers, pulling the attention of the entire hall. In this cacophony, it takes a moment to hear the model scream, but her cries grow louder and more piercing over the enthusiasm of onlookers. And the crash of electricity, all at once, hush blankets the hall. Gaping red sores open across the woman's skin. Crawling from beneath the dress in deep fissures of pain, the model stops screaming, holding her hands up before the crowd. Within her hand, her bones glow green. Terrible mirroring of the X-rays on display only a few feet away, as we watch the bones within each finger fall disconnected towards her wrist, and her flesh hangs like a glove. The cascade of disconnecting bones runs down her arm and then her spine and her legs, until what was once a beautiful woman is a pulling mass of writhing flesh. In the end, there is nothing but a pile of red viscera and the most beautiful green dress in the world has ever seen, looming over the body like a promise. The glowing sign reads, Undark.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, a lot of reading at first. Wanted to do it accurate. That is the introduction to it. That is the, and essentially what has happened is the Lightkeeper has decided to send you guys to investigate this mysterious stress that seems to have melted someone. So you are reaching the Great Exhibit Hall. What do you do?
Well, this dress. Is there anyone else left here? Has the place been cleared out at all?
And the place is still you're still seeing everyone try to sell their wares. If you want to continue through, you'll see that it's closed off further. You can see a lot of officers and men in suits
So
surrounded
how
by
long
an
ago
area
did it
stopping
happen?
people. We're talking like about an hour.
Just so I understand, are we like Candela Obscura? We flash some ID and we walk in. That's like a thing. Yeah.
No, you're not that.
So this is like a secret.
They
society.
are aware of who you are, but you
Right.
don't have like ID that you just walk in and go. Hello,
So we're gonna have to
I'm
try and
this-"
sneak through.
So if I
But
try
not
and
sneak.
distract them with the like party tricks of lifting heavy things,
Yous are like, the best way I can explain it is yous are paranormal investigators in the real world.
Right. Are we
Like,
consultants
Okay.
and we're allowed in? We don't have to do anything elaborate to get in to see this dress then, no?
I will say there are certain people in the police force that know this stuff exists and they trust you guys, but there are other ones that are like, no, we can deal with it. And then there's also the ones that straight up don't believe this stuff exists.
and are any
Yeah.
of the ones that believe us there?
By any chance?
You would have to continue up to find out.
Yep.
It's like, could I? Never mind. I was gonna say if I could roll one of my dice things for my trait thing and one guy trait thing, see if I've got anybody in there inside who can let us through.
Okay, if you're trying to get by the police, there is someone that you may know. I will get the name for you right now.
Ah.
Naftali. She is a close contact with Candela Obscura. She frequently goes against the orders of her superiors to collaborate with Circle members for the greater good. She is part of the Office of Unexplained Phenomena. That is the official paranormal investigators of this place. But you also, being Candela Obscura, know that they are very much do not want it to be revealed that these phenomena exist. They want to keep the peace, so they also bury this stuff. And they tend to cause more problems than they solve.
What was the office she was from? Sorry.
The Office of Unexplained Phenomena.
Alexei.
So do we all know this woman? Is this a person we know?
James knows her.
I'm going
So
to.
we don't.
I'm going
Okay.
to turn around and go. I may perhaps know someone that can help us out here. There is a force from the unexplained paranormal phenomena that a friend of mine could actually help us out here. We can get through and see what's happened.
That would be lovely.
Speak to it.
Um,
Whilst you discuss this, there is a man looking directly at you, Lee.
Oh, you've pulled.
Come over here, sir.
Oh.
Come over here. You look like a
That
man
was
of
my
fine
first thought,
taste.
Sally.
While you, if you go and have a word with your friend, I will see what this gentleman wants and see if he perhaps noticed anything. And I'll walk over to the guy. Hello, sir. Can I be of some assistance?
Can I be of assistance to you is the question.
I look around. Is he still clearly trying to sell me something?
Yes. He's still clearly trying to sell you something.
Oh, before you go into this, might I ask, did you see anything unusual next door at all? Now, is this area cordoned off like it's in a building or?
Yous are out in it's a green, so it's like yous are in a sort of think of a nature place, like with lots of trees and flowers and that. They've set up stalls along. I should actually describe this place better for you. Sorry. So there's lots of stalls set up where they're trying to sell different things, different inventions, but it's all within this sort of greenery, and it's very beautiful. The place you're trying to look for is the actual exhibition hall itself, which is ahead of you. But that is cordoned off, which James knows someone that's there. It's just this guy speaking to you right now before you get over there.
Oh, greetings, sir. Yes, I'm Neville Vandal.
Good to meet you, sir. Good to meet you, sir. He kind of like vigorously shakes your hands.
Wonderful. As he lets go of my hand, I pull a handkerchief off and wipe my hand. But don't break eye contact with him. What is it you're selling? Also, what is it you wish to show me?
Time, sir. I can give you time, the most precious resource in this world.
And how would you go about doing that then?
If you'd look over here, and he's got this very nice jacket. It has a zip. Now think of how much time you waste buttoning up your waistcoat every day, sir. Minutes of your life. Look at this man, and it's clearly like a guy that he's hired. That's like struggling
Unless the
with
zip
buttons.
gets stuck, because that can be an absolute nightmare.
And then there's the other guy, and it's like, now look at this gentleman who's this very handsome buff guy.
Yeah.
Zips up his zip in seconds.
Why,
It's minutes.
I'll go
1 minute
I'll
per
go up
day.
to Neville and say, Neville, sometimes those zips get stuck and that takes longer than buttons.
Have you seen such a like the zip? You've never seen zips before until now.
Oh,
I
damn
It's a
it.
new invention.
It's a wonderful device. This would save lots of time. I wonder about the aesthetics on my particular type of suit. Do you think
We can make it to any suit possible. I could take your outfit right now and put a zip on it if you would like, sir.
Don't give him your clothes. You never know where he's been.
that won't be necessary? Do you have a shop at all, or is it mainly from the? It is from the stall that you.
I
sell
have
this?
a tailor in the silver slip, sir.
Wonderful. May I have the address of this establishment?
And he just writes
Yeah,
it down and hands it over to you on a card. It's clearly like he got cards and you see him like scoring out the one address and writing the other address.
Seems legit.
Yeah. As a man of some means, like kind of, is this a name of a tailor that I recognise?
No, it's not like that well known, but like you never went there. You're a man of means. You sent your servants to get your clothing fixed for you,
Oh, I had to go there for.
or you bought new clothes.
It is wonderful. I will definitely visit your location as soon as I can. Might I ask, was there some commotion in the guild, not the guild hall, in the exhibition hall earlier on today?
Oh yes, a rival tailor had created a dress, completely harming the women inside. It's like you can't trust people. Like you don't want to go with unregulated products. The zipper's all you need, sir.
Truly amazing, yes. So you believe that the lack of zipper is what caused the problem next door then?
If she had a zip, she could have released the dress immediately and been protected. It would have been indecent, but she would be alive.
That is very true.
Extremely indecent, I will have you.
Sorry,
A
Rachel,
lady
that-
does
that
not
was-
take her clothes off in public.
You've not been to the Red Lamp District, miss. Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
I should not
never
speak
have.
like that to a lady.
However, if it's a choice between death or indecency, surely they would choose indecency.
Death.
Neville
One
pulls
would
out-
always choose death,
Neville
Mr. Neville.
pulls out a notebook and makes a note
Professor.
of its death before indecency. Okay. Okay.
You do. Being an upper class person to some people that are rich,
manners
that
are
is.
everything. Yes, your appearance is everything. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I've merely moved her from one section of the notebook to the other section. Okay, she is that level of posh. Okay, holy shit. She's not like the brothers.
She's not poser anymore.
Yeah.
It actually takes this stuff seriously.
That's old money attitudes right there. Okay, got you. Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for this. I will definitely visit your tailor within the next few days and have one of these wonderful devices installed in, perhaps not this jacket, but in one of my other jackets. Thank you so much, sir. And I will just kind of spin on my heel and walk away before he gets a chance to speak to me. James's character, whose name I definitely know. James, what's your character called?
John Van Mackenzie.
John. Okay. John, have you spoken to your friend?
I would have went to find him as you was
I
talking
will
to.
say that you have now approached. It's all these kind of like officials in suits and that very curled mustaches and that, and looking very seriously, like kind of hold it there, sir. No one's allowed inside the main building.
Oh, but where?
It's inside the exhibit hall, and then this is
Alright.
where she comes over and she's told worry. He's my friend. He actually could be quite useful for us. We could just get a promotion if they get this sorted. I know this guy. Don't worry. You're not even going to have to do any work. Like these are the only words you're hearing.
Yeah.
Getting whispered into the guy's ear. And oh yes, yes sir. And he kind of opens the exhibit hall, and she kind of pats you in the back. It says in remember you owe me one. I will say dresses in the classrooms, they removed it for safety. However, the body's in the main hall.
Mr. Mackenzie, I've brought the lab equipment. I'll open my brown bag that I'm holding, which does have some lab equipment. And your assistants are here as well.
Can you tick your lab equipment as one of the pieces of equipment you
I
have?
did already, yes. I've got my lab
Nice.
equipment, my bleed containment vial, and my bleed detector.
You don't need, I will say, you don't need to choose until you need it.
Alright, fair play.
Yes, of course.
So,
Is that okay, Mr. Mackenzie?
What was
Should
that?
we just follow along?
Yeah, just follow along. Said the dress was in the classroom, and what was it say again?
the body's in the main hall.
Alright, the body's in the main hall. Perhaps we should investigate the main hall where the commotion happened.
Sally,
think
what's your
that's a good
character called
idea.
again?
Geraldine.
Geraldine.
Don't.
And Rich, what's your character called again?
Eleanor.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
cool.
Sally said.
Yeah.
Wait, what's your cult, Sally, again? Geraldine.
Yeah.
So,
While
You
I'm
can call me Mighty if
talking-
you want.
I'm still talking to Nella to ask like information about what actually happened and to know what caused it all.
It'd be really
We
funny.
don't know. All we know is it was a model that was hired to do a dance and sell this new dye for dresses. It was some very bright green dye. Like, it made you glow in the dark. It was like so bright and vibrant. The dress is beautiful, but we're not touching it. We got, and yeah, she's just kind of like waiting you responding.
Right, okay. We'll take care of it here. Thank you very much, Nella. Thank you for allowing us pass. And I do owe you one.
And she kind of pats and kind of like a thumbs up as you go by. She's
As the professor, do you have any like vials or anything on you?
Who, me?
I have bleed
Yeah.
contaminate vial. Is that something?
The bleed containment vial. We'll come to that, I think, once we get in. Yeah, I've got lab equipment with me. I was assuming I was going to do some tests on the dress
Yeah.
and on the goo that's
Remain.
left. But
Okay.
I'm just following along with John right now to see which way he's going to lead us. At the moment, I'm trying to make it look like he's in charge, and I'm just like his lab assistant.
cool. As you kind of go into the building, there still is the large stalls, and everybody's kind of like looking about. They're clearly being told they're not allowed to leave, and people are starting to get a little frustrated. This was their big break, and it's been ruined.
Do you know where the dyes come from? What stall?
The dye itself wasn't here, it was the dress itself that was done. The dress has been moved to a classroom to separate it from here and the bodies here, like it's, well, the body is.
He kind of
The mess.
I would very much like to look at the dress if possible. And who excuse me, who moved the dress?
Because you kind of see a guy like come out in like basically full like rubber gear covering every part of him, and he's like, "That was me."
Wonderful, good precautions were taken then. That's what. Have you put it in some kind of shielded area, or did you simply throw it into a room?
Here you, sir.
Oh, sorry, we're the investigators. We're here to help with the scene. This is my. I don't know what we call. This is my associate, John Mackenzie.
Oh, yes. Dan Mackenzie. My friend Nella allowed us in to help you guys out.
We're here to see if it can kill you or not, so I think you should let us in.
I think we can trust our own scientists in this endeavour, sir.
But you could trust your own scientists. But we have more interest in this sort of phenomenon. We could help you out. Do I need to get my friend Nella back here?
Listen, I'm not wanting any people looking for some fame getting in the way of my job. Why don't you just get out of the way?
I just pick him up and move him out the way.
Can you do me a move roll?
To literally move.
I was hoping you'd eat that there because I'm like, Sally needs something to do. And I was trying, hence why I was like, guy.
What do I do with that? This is the first roll. How do I do it?
For your character, you have 2 dots in muscle. So you can roll 2d6. But you also have 6 points in nerve. So you can put points from your nerve into it and lose those points temporarily.
Okay.
How many dice do you want to roll? You can do up to a maximum of 6.
I'll do 4.
Okay. So that'll be 2 points away from your...
Yes. So is it roll / 4d6?
It's /roll space
roll.
4d6.
13.
That's the number that shows up. We have to click it.
Oh.
Okay, so you have had a mixed success. Now,
Yes. So I've got 3 3s and a 4.
I can tell you, you can resist this if you want,
Okay.
Which means you would roll your move again, and you could add drive points, but you don't get those drive points you've already spent if you choose to do it. This is a mixed result you would be having right now.
Okay. So
You need a 6 to get them. So you could do a resist and do your 2 moves. You can add drive to it, but you do not get the drive you've already used.
okay. So if I
If you want
re-roll
to.
it, yeah.
You've got 2 resistances, so in your nerve skills and your drives, you've got 2 rerolls that you can use in this. I'm assuming it doesn't tell you how you refresh your resistances. I'm assuming it's per session.
That's what I was assuming. I thought it was like mutant points and mutant, to be honest, like just to get more later on kind of thing.
Okay, so if I re-roll it, is it like the same again, like 4d6?
You would be doing 2d6 unless you wanted to add more nerve to it.
No, because I've only got 2 left now, haven't I?
And no, you have 4 left.
4 left.
This is just
No,
something.
I'll just stick with the 2. I'll re-roll it, but just do the 2.
Okay.
I got
Kick his ass!
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
Basically, I flick him and he just stands there and says
Now,
nothing.
it would be very unfair for me to say this because I didn't tell you this beforehand. You're meant to take the new roll no matter what, which would have been a fail. But
Okay.
I didn't explain that to you, so we're not doing it this time. It's just for future reference.
Okay.
You have to take the new roll, and that would have been a fail.
Okay.
But we're doing mixed results, so it's like you lift the guy up, no problem, and you move him over. It's what you think you're doing, and goes to swing for you.
Oh no. Okay.
Now,
I'm gonna
you
dodge
can-
this thing.
I would say this would be you can
I'm distracting him. You
can
guys
do a
go.
move or you can do a strike. And yeah, I will say that this guy is very distracted right now. You could get
Yeah,
to the
we can
body or
just
the
kind of-
captain.
I'm gonna
I
walk
am
into
going
the room,
to-
yeah.
Whether, yeah, well, it's,
Are all you going into the room or is anybody checking the body first?
I'm-
Make your choice, John.
let's go in the room. Throw the
Right, I'll get the
roll
body.
there.
Okay.
No, you need to go in with your vial set and get stuff
Wait.
from the dress.
Actually, that'd be a good idea. Actually, I'll stay and check the body, and you can go in.
Okay, I will go to the dress with my laboratory set.
Yeah.
I will also go with you.
I will say it's technically a dodge, but because we already did the move, I will say it's got to be a strike because I'm guessing you've got to hit him back unless you want to pin him or something.
Yeah, I'll try and no, I will probably try and hit him. If he goes to hit me, and I would then hit him back.
Cool. So it's your strike. You've got 2 dots in that as well, so it's 2d6. You can add drive if you want.
No. I don't like the drive.
I know you're just going unlucky with it.
11?
You
I got 1 6 and a 5.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah. Success.
Yeah. So success. 6 is a success. 5 is a mixed success. But the 5 is a gilded dice, and you would be able to restore some of your drive if you choose to do that. However, that would be a mixed success.
I just stick with what it is that with the
This guy in the
success
head.
it hits him, right?
So success will hit him. He's knocked out. If you do that, if you get a mixed result, I will tell you what your mixed result will be, just so you can choose. He will get knocked out. He will remember you.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure he's always going to remember the Amazon.
do the mi-
No,
Yeah.
I'm just going. He's got a concussion. He'll not remember her
Oh,
if
yeah.
he gets a success.
I want him to remember me so that he can either make the decision to mess with me again or not.
Okay.
Go with
So
the
I'll
mixed
go for the
dice and,
mix.
and then get a drive back then.
Yeah.
Nice. So
Okay.
you have got a drive back. So you are now back up to
Yeah.
5 for your.
I
No,
want him
for
to
your
remember
nerves.
me.
I'm going to turn around and go.
Come at me, bro.
How does Sally knock him out? Is it?
So I'm going to literally I'm going to dodge him and get him right in the temple and knock him. Knock him
And
out.
it's just he falls straight through the ground, and he's like just completely dazed. He's fuck.
Oh.
Is he slung?
I'm going to go down, sort of I'm feeling fine. Just to see if I
You left while she was staying this fight. You left to the room.
I'm left for the body. Do it the body.
You left to the body. Where was it you went, Rach, again, just so I know where everybody is?
I
You
went
went with
with
Lady,
Lee, but I could always go with where James's
Why-
character
who went?
went. I'll
Guys,
go with the
we're
body.
dynamic
So
people
I'll
of
go with
action. Go.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
go with
Rach,
John.
you go with John. John went to the classroom. Not body.
Yes,
Lee
to
went
see
to
the body. Yeah.
classroom. Cool. So we are going to switch to body. Right. As you guys approach the body, is you just kind of see this pool of flesh with little bubbles popping out every so often, like green pus over everything, and you kind of see a little finger that seems to be doing that, and it looks like it looks in pain, despite
Is it
being
still
dead.
alive?
It's twitching like it's alive, but it's like, how can it be alive? It's a mess.
Jesus
It's
Christ.
lying there.
I'm gonna.
I am going to get my bleed containment valve and try and take a wee sample somehow. But I was going to try and find something I can actually put it in.
Cool. So yeah, this is like a little beaker, I'm assuming, and some
Yeah.
like needles. Do you touch the body when you're doing it, or
No, I'll try and find something like cloth or something like that to try and sort of. I don't touch the body. I'll try and move around to see, 'cause I don't want to touch or contaminate. So I'm just trying to sort of use whatever I can to move it around to see any sort of marks or. I guess I'm seeing nothing but this bubbly substance. So that's what I was kind of wanting to sort of take a sample of for the lead character's
I will get you to do a survey roll, please.
survey. Okay.
For you is
I don't have everything survey, but I could.
You can still roll 2 dice. You just take the lower
yeah, you
one.
just take your lowest. You could pump intuition into it though, and you have 3 dots in your intuition drive that you could use if you choose. But those are a limited resource.
So I'm doing. How do I do this again? Is it roll?
/roll space how many dice you're rolling d6. How many are you rolling?
2d6.
So you're doing it just no driving it at all?
No.
Okay.
And that's a fail. 2 and 1.
Yeah, that's a straight up fail.
Yeah. I'm not. I can't put anything into it now. Can I not?
No, you don't succeed, sadly. However, as you're trying to do it, you are being very careful. Sadly, because you didn't get a good roll there. You slightly touch the body, and suddenly you feel like a shock through your system, like electricity, and you have took 1 point in bleed on your marks.
1 point in bleed.
So you have 2 left before you would get a scar from that.
Yeah.
Do you want to continue? You can try again.
Yeah, I'll do it one more time.
Can I assist him?
You can, which gives him 1d6 extra, but you will take the consequences as well if he fails. How are you helping him?
I'll
Firstly?
assist him.
So that'd be 3d6 then.
And you'd just be doing the. It's not very clear in that. I would say 2d6. You get your dice and the extra.
I'm basically just going to hold the vial for him while he gets the.
I got 1 and a
whatever
2,
the
so
fuck
that's
it is.
definitely a fail.
So once again, you try to help each other, but it's just you move the wrong way and you both end up touching it.
He did only roll 2 dice there. Was he not meant to roll 3?
I thought so, but
No, it's because he was getting an extra dice. But the other one was disadvantaged. He was taking the lowest. He just happened to fail both dice.
All right.
So
stop touching
you
the
have
fucking girl.
2 in bleed. And
do I have one as well?
You have 1 as well because you chose to help him.
Yep.
I'm just going to. Sorry, I didn't. I hope you aren't too hurt.
No.
Don't worry, John. I've got this. Let me try. I'm going to get my kit out now. And
I will remind you, though, I will say one thing with you, Rach, before. You have the skill called Let Them In. Whenever you take one or more bleed marks, you also gain additional information about the phenomenon.
Oh, that's a
Ooh.
good
I knew
thing
that.
to have.
So
I knew
as
that.
you get the shock, and you see her putting on a green dress, and you see like a man in a suit, and you can kind of see a wee badge on his suit that says Radiance Corporation, and he seems to be explaining what she's to do, and then you're straight out.
It's the
In fact, I've got to give you
uncovered
one more as well. You seem to see like this green liquid pouring out of a cave.
Or of cake.
It's like venom. My goodness.
Out of a cave, Rachel, not a cake.
I thought you said cake too. Maybe me and you just got food on the brain. We're hangry.
I'll turn to John and just say, I've just seen something. She was trying the dress on in, what's it called? Something
The Radiant Corporation. You don't know where you were. I'll say
Yeah,
that, but you were somewhere different from the city.
I'm not sure entirely where it is, but I know that's what it was called. I also saw a cave with some green liquid. Again, not sure what that is, but something. I think that... Nope, I've not seen the dress yet, have I?
And no, you did. You saw the dress on her when the person
yeah.
was talking to her.
Oh yeah,
What
so
about-
that
what
green
about the,
might be on the dress.
Radiant Corp. Where did you see that name? Did you manage to see where or what that name was?
Oh, it was on the man's jacket.
Did you see there was a man's jacket? Was it the man?
Scott, do I know what he looks like?
He's kind of as an older gentleman. He has like a short grey beard and twirled mustache. Maybe about his mid-80s. He looks
Quite
serious. You also saw some individuals behind him that seemed a wee bit afraid.
Okay. I think he was the boss.
Yeah, maybe I should go and see if I can find him, and you go with go to the dress.
So we are now.
We don't know exactly where this is, though, John. So it might be out of the city.
It's a possibility, but someone in the conference hall might have actually spotted him or spotted where he went.
I will say with this scene, we'll switch to Lee because these would be better things to communicate with them as well.
Yeah.
So the scene will now switch to Lee, who's now in the classroom with the green dress lying on the desk.
Okay, I keep my distance from the dress, so go in, I close the door. I go into my laboratory bag thing. I pull out the kind of leather gauntlets, the kind of heavy leather apron, and a kind of like visor that I put all this stuff on. And I've got some, I don't know, some kind of tongs or something for moving things I can kind of clip on it. But first, before I do that, I pull out the bleed detector, which I will now mark off, and I point it at it, and I assume it beeps or doesn't beep.
Yep, it absolutely reeks of phenomena.
It spins round and it does some shit. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, it's like.
I'm imagining it like in Ghostbusters when they've got like the weird devices that spin round and stuff.
It is whatever you want. If this is this could be Ghostbusters kit if you want. Everything.
In my mind, it is Ghostbusters kit. So yeah, like the bits at the front kind of go back. The top thing comes and it starts spinning around. Does this say danger? Get the fuck out of here, or is this just this is?
This is the kind of phenomenon that will cause harm to you if you physically touch it.
Well done, dead meat.
You can be around it, but you can't. Skin contact's the issue.
Yeah. I did see my gauntlets. Just so we're clear, phenomena. Thank you, chat. Okay, so yeah, I go over to it. First thing I do is check: is there a zip on the dress?
No, there is no zip on this dress.
Make a mental note.
Not a bad shout though.
The zip would have saved her life, but okay, that's fine. Okay, I will remember to say that this was a safety precaution they should have added. So we definitely infected somehow. Is there anything obvious about the dress that I can see? Is there some kind of checking roll? I'm looking for liquids, markings, metals that seem like they shouldn't be used for dress-like material. I do have some skills.
Roll a survey, but because you're using all this equipment, I'm going to say extra D6. I do not know if that's the rule, but
that's the one that's tagged focus. I've got inspect, analyze, and remember.
Yes, you can use that. In fact, I should have maybe made Rachel and James use that as well, but I just kind of read survey saying search, and I was like, cool, that'll do.
Yeah. So how many d6 jump in all?
Whatever is in your focus, which is...
I think I've got 2 in that. And it's
you
highlighted.
have 1 and... No, in fact...
If it's
you do
highlighted
have
2, then
two-
you should have 2.
You have 2 in focus.
So I can roll 3 because I'm doing all my weird science shit and that. I've got my little kind
Yeah,
of thing.
you can add drive if you want from your intuition.
I'll roll 4 just for the hell of it. / roll 4d6. Oh, that doesn't look good. I got 1 partial
you got-
success.
Better than
Yeah,
nothing.
you've got a partial success. Your gilded die was a fail. If you want to choose the failure, you could get that point back. But
No, I don't want the
it's
failure.
like-
I want the partial success. So I'm like
so
lifting up
your
the
partial
failure
success.
die. Do I see anything that should not be there? Have they tried to like use a weird glowy liquid to make the dress look more shimmery, or?
Yeah, it's you kind of look around it and that, and there's nothing really on the dress, but you do notice there's a box next to it, and it says Mordant Springs. Is it Mordant Springs? I'm just double checking that before I get it wrong. Yes, it says Mordant Springs, and it has a little tag on it saying the Radiant Corporation.
Yeah, so Radiant Corporation. I only know that's come up once now, but that's fine. Modern Spring. Do I recognise that name as a location or like a street name or part of the city?
You could find out. We would find that out off screen. It is outside of town. It is a mining community.
Okay, that's absolutely.
But I will say you have all gone out of the hall because you've gotten all the clues, unless you want to continue role playing here.
No,
I'm
that's
assuming you're getting out of here before that guy wakes up.
I will. Yeah, I'll kind of make some notes about the dress, and I don't know if they have cameras. If I'd make some kind of record if I could. If not, I just make some notes, and then I just.
And no, it's drawings. You have radio. You don't have.
Oh, is that
A
right?
piece of the
TV.
dress.
So I've already. Yeah, I'll cut off a bit of the dress, and I'll put that inside. Do I have to use my bleed containment vial, or is that different?
You would have to use that to protect it. However, I'm pretty sure that Rachel said that James had said he has that already.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So if when you guys come back, I'll cut off a piece of the dress, fold it up, and I'll put it inside the stopper it, and put it with the lab equipment.
We have met up. Me and Rachel character spoke to what she found really.
I will say, I think that you should tell your friend that these things should perhaps be put inside some kind of leaden container and dropped into the deepest, darkest hole we can find. This is particularly, and I will switch on the machine. This is not good. I didn't even.
I will pass a note to Nelly. I will let them know.
Okay, cool. Yep. So that's all I had to say. Yeah. Also, I need to decontaminate these gloves and this as well. I'll put them inside the.
Yes, I would throw those out.
Oh no, these are my favourite ones. I'll just wash them in the iodine. No idea if that'll help.
Fair enough. Alcohol, some sort of alcohol.
Yeah.
And when she was to me, always a scar in my hand. I'm like, maybe I should have worn gloves.
Ah, yes, John.
You didn't
I will
like,
say
made a bad
touch
decision.
the
doesn't-
sample. Like
Yes.
absolutely.
Bleed damage
Absolutely.
doesn't leave physical appearance. It does. It would when you get a scar, it'll do something, but it's like freakier.
I pointed
It's like your eyes will glow. You'll grow a tail, stuff like that. It's weird stuff. It's not physical pain.
Alright.
Did anybody
So
get a sample of the goo?
I will have asked that when I went out if he's got some goo sample.
Yes,
Even though
we
you
did.
failed several times, I will say he's got it.
If we kept failing, I would have tried myself.
I like to think the side is there just kicking the guy that's down the whole time, just volleying.
No, I'm just sat on him waiting.
Do.
As I
Still
see
make
you,
you uncomfortable.
as I see you, kind of just sitting there, I kind of see him. Okay, we should go. Makes sense.
As you get off him, he's like, I love you.
Love you too, darling. See you soon.
I would tell her people like to pay for things like that.
Oh, I know, darling. I know. How do you think I bought these clothes?
Yeah.
So
Deep judgment on Eleanor's
use-
face.
Neville flushes.
Where are you-
What do you mean? I've never heard of such things. Walks kind of briskly.
Do you know
ahead
what
of
you're
you,
talking
Fabians.
about?
Yeah.
Where are you going next?
Now, did you say
At
that
Lamp
there
District.
was there was some name of a company? I believe it was a Radiant or Radiance
Radiant Cooperation. Corporation?
Okay.
And did you, man? It was an old
Corporation. Fuck my life.
And Modern
Cooperation.
Springs, that was the name on the box. I believe that is a mining community.
That is probably the dressmaker, I would presume.
Interesting.
Possibly.
Perhaps we should see if we can make him a way there.
Make Mary.
Now, I don't know how you choose to travel, but train.
I have a flying machine. We should take that. Okay,
Wait.
never mind.
There's space
When
for
you
all of
get
us.
by, get on the train and you appear at Morden Springs. If you're choosing to go to Morden Springs now, unless you want to go somewhere,
I have a carriage.
you can go to the carriage. if you
Got a
want.
horse.
Just assume that you make it there. It even says it. Don't waste time.
Yeah.
All that
I
stuff.
can just imagine.
Just
I'm the one.
appear.
I'm the one there sailing.
Perhaps we should use the teleportation circle we have back at the.
It only
Something like
takes us to
that.
different lighthouses, am I correct?
Yeah.
It just takes you to some weird plane that you seem to store things in.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
wrong kind of plane.
It's a Stargate, man. That's what it is.
Every form of transport.
Right, so I turn up on like a big penny farthing. Rach turns up in a carriage. It is a motorised penny farthing though.
Sally turns up on the train with
Sally
James.
ends up riding the guy that she knocked out earlier on, and Jim just moonwalks into the
Dun,
scene.
dun, 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 dun.
And we're there. Okay.
Here's one I made earlier.
Anyway. Oh dear.
I'm so glad I'm not drinking because I would be an absolute fucking mess right now.
I don't know what's happening.
I know exactly. I follow this all absolutely.
It's a new system. My brain hasn't fully
Yeah.
functioned to it yet. I'm just going along with it.
We're in, is it Mordant Springs?
That is. We
Morden
arrived in
Springs.
Morden Springs.
I thought that was a dress company.
No, it's a mining community, darling.
It's like, there might be a dress company in there.
Ah,
No, the people that supply the heat source for your mansion, this is where it comes from.
I wasn't aware there was such places that did that. I thought it was just normal.
Feel like picking up some coal dust and just like and patting you on the head.
As you arrive at Morden Springs,
Took me 12 hours.
there's a river that seems to have dried up a little bit. Like you can still see water, but it clearly was a flowing river at one point. It was quite beautiful. Like you could see this place used to be lovely, but it's no longer that way. And different buildings like warehouses, factories, like little houses where it's 20 people to a room and there's about 10 rooms in a building. Very corporate towny, if you've ever been to one. I know Lee has, because I know there's corporate town. Yeah. There's like different, like I say, different buildings, and yeah, there's people hubbing about like with equipment for the mines, and different people in suits walking about, and lots of yelling, lots of moving your bells and whistles.
Actually,
Was
very
there
interesting. Go ahead.
I was just going to ask if there was any, like a picture or anything that went along with the name of the corporation.
It was kind of a generic logo of a company, but I will say that most of these buildings seems to have sponsored by Radiance Corporation. And this is a Radiant Corporation warehouse, Radiant Corporation hospital.
These towns are actually very interesting. What's happened in the last few years is companies such as my uncle's company, they make these towns, and what you do is you lure, and I kind of look at the lower class people in the group and say, you lure workers here with high wages, but what you don't tell them is that everything costs so much here. So like they get high wages, but actually they end up in more poverty because everything here costs a fortune. But it's
Like Britain.
yeah, I don't know this place, but yes, it's.
And as he explains, like, am I giving the game away here? Oh, wait, am I meant to tell people that this is the trick that we play on poor people? But Yes, it's wonderful business practice. However, I don't particularly agree with it because most of these people will be trapped here in this what would you call like a poverty cycle where you have great wages but you can't afford to live. Yes, it also strangely makes people incredibly loyal to the company because they'll put more hours in trying to get ahead, but then they get further in debt. It's very interesting.
Sounds like a
That
vicious
is a
circle.
modern corporate town. This is the kind of one where it's your school is the same, but you're not paid well here. It's like your family is fed, your kids get a school that is definitely pro this corporation. It's that kind of one. However, I will say with Mordant Springs, you know that this wasn't built by the corporation. The corporation moved in. They bought everything up around and just basically took over, and they were the only ones that anyone could work for. This is just a little bit of history you'll know for the
Does Sally want to?
Yes, Sally?
Are there any puddles of goo on the floor?
Like the whole south, the whole town
No,
is just these
yeah.
goo puddles and green dresses everywhere walking around. Oh, we should probably have noticed that straight away.
I will say a set.
Like when you go over, like a car leaks oil, then you try and cover it up with a bit of sand. There are things like that.
I would say either a survey or a sense roll for what you're looking for right now.
I will surreptitiously use the device with the bleed detector and go, oh, look at my device that tells the weather points and see if it like stronger this way, stronger that way, nothing at all.
You sense little bits here
This
and
is to
there.
help Sally. This is so she can do her roll, but I'm like trying to help her.
This to add a d6 to your roll.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is the mechanics. It's a quick start. It's just I feel like this tool needs something added to it. Like
It was just to make it more interesting, saying I give her an extra d6. So I thought I'll just do a thing. Yeah. We look for piles of goo.
either sense or survey for what you're looking for.
Survey, I think. But I don't have my character sheet. Like, I didn't print it off.
So I will tell you, your survey is 2 dice.
Okay.
You don't have any drive or any resistances in it. So just be straight 2 dice.
Do I get an extra dice because of Lee?
Yes, 3.
Yes. So 3d6.
But he will suffer the consequences if something goes wrong.
Like I did when
I
James
got a 6, a 5, and a 4.
Nice. That means you get what you wanted. Right. There aren't any puddles of goo, but you do notice something very strange. A lot of these people seem weak.
Rugged.
Like, their posture's gone. You kind of see like somebody looks like they have arthritis and that. There's a lot of people, it's very much there's something wrong with their bones and their muscles. Like, they seem weaker despite being minors. You've no minors. You've fought minors as a prize fighter. They're tough guys. These guys work their backs all day and tough, strong guys. These guys seem really weak.
Perhaps if we check in one of the local stores, we can see I can pass the machine over the food, or perhaps ask for to be taken to head office.
That's a good
Can we
shout.
see head office?
Well,
I'm going to turn on the
mayor's house
Eleanor.
or the overseer. There'll be some whatever name they use for the local area.
If we're going to move scenes, we'll get what James was saying first before we change scenes.
I was going to turn on the Eleanor and go, do you know that vision you had? Do you remember that green ghoul cave, or was it? Do you think it may have been anywhere near here? Does it anywhere?
Scott,
around
would it
here?
have been anywhere near where we are?
If you do recognise the kind of environment, yeah, in fact, because you're looking for a head office, you do actually notice the building that's further in. It's the largest building. You recognise that's where you saw the guy, and does look quite
I
official.
believe that is the place that the man was from, and I point to the building.
And on what Lee said, there is a shop nearby, and like I said, there's tenement buildings, there's warehouses.
I would also perhaps like to look for a local medical establishment, some kind of doctor's surgery or something along those lines. We could
I make it because Sally's role was so good that she notices that it is a hospital, but it's very like falling apart. It looks like it's been built in the middle of someone's housing.
Does it look like it has been converted recently, or is this is what the hospital is? You've basically got a room, it's place to store people until they die.
It is converted recently. This is Sally that knows this because her surveyor was so good.
I asked that. I say the things I said, but I say them to Geraldine.
I turn around and say what Scott said.
Okay.
I repeat.
How do you wish to do this? John and Eleanor, perhaps do you wish to address the man at head office, seeing as you know who he is? I would like to check out the store and the hospital, but if Geraldine, you could perhaps come with me. He gets a bit flustered when he says that.
I'm going to say, yes, I'll come with you. Very
Okay,
excitedly. Like, yeah, friend.
Is there any way we can communicate with each other? So
Yes,
But
if you
anything
just
goes-
shout really loud.
More than really loud.
Smoke
It's
signals.
quite a distance.
a signal.
We could attach a piece of string to each other's fingers, and if we need help,
Nerd calls.
just pull 37 times.
I will say because
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
I will say there are
That was a bit grandiose, like that. There we go.
I will say with the advent of electricity, there are telephones, but it's oldie telephones where you
Right.
have to contact an operator that will connect you, kind of telephones.
Anybody know bird
Alright.
calls?
Let's do.
We could
Never
stay
mind,
together as well.
You wouldn't be able to phone each other. It's just I'm letting you know that communication is there for another time. I'm saying this isn't in the lore. I'm just going with
Turns out
the
they're going to have smartphones in the actual game, like just full on smartphones.
Good, it is a magical world. But just so I'm clear, where is everyone going?
You also don't
We're
have to
going
listen to me,
to
by the way. I'm
see,
not in charge. You
uh,
could be like, no, we're all going to the same place.
No, I think it's a good idea. We're
Yes,
going to go and see the dude that was in the vision I had.
So you just want to go to the head office, and Lee and Sally, where is it you are going?
I wanted to check out general store or straight to the hospital, and this is solely to check to see if it's the food that's contaminated, or speak to a medical professional to see when the sickness started.
Choose one because we'll switch to use once we've dealt with James and Ray.
I vote medical establishment
Hospital.
to see when the sickness started.
Yes. I
Okay.
agree.
So we'll go to James and Rachel. You kind of approach the building, and there's a lot of like heavies and suits that are standing outside. And it's, welcome to the Radiance Corporation. How may I help you, sir and madam?
I am here to speak to a gentleman about a dress.
Don't know what you're talking about, madam. If you could please leave.
Excuse me? How dare you talk to me in such a manner?
We at the Radiant Corporation, thank you for your custom. However, we are not refunding, and we take no liability for any said
no,
No, we're
purchase.
not asking for a refund. We're actually trying to.
We're
look
asking
for someone.
about a dress. Yes, I'm looking for a dress.
Oh, you want to buy a dress? I suggest a good tailor. There is a good tailor in town. I also heard that there is a tailor that has recently developed a zip. This may be more preferable for you.
I am very much
like
aware of
kind of-
this.
Still using that trait with the Noah guy thing again, or was that a one-time use thing?
It is a one-time use thing.
Ah, fair
But
enough.
if you want to get by this guy, you can do a sway roll, one of yous at assistance, or if you want.
James, how good's your sway?
My sway is.
Your sway should be good.
Yeah, mine's is good. So
You do it.
I'm going to try and sway the guy then. See.
So you have 2 dots in sway. You could add. You've got a choice of 3 drives to add to it. And your
Right.
sway is also one of your gilded skills. So it's up to you if you want to add drives or not.
Yeah, I'll add a drive. I'll add a drive.
So that is 4d6 actually, because you're getting help for each.
Right, 46, okay. Oh, that's slash roll, isn't it?
Yeah. Right.
3, 4, 5, 1. That's
Mixed results. I will tell you, I doubt you're going to do it. You have a failed result that could be your gilded diet and restored drive if you wanted.
right. What would be better?
I would probably recommend not taking the failure.
I am
No, I
not going to
wouldn't.
failure.
So mixed results.
Yeah.
I will go and speak to my superior officer, sir. And you kind of see one of the heavies gone and the other two just staring at you. These are waiting like about 5 minutes. We are going to switch to Lee and Sally, who have went to the hospital during this wait. And yeah, as you approach the building, you kind of get in, and it's kind of like a makeshift hospital. This is where you do see there's like people who've got like jelly hands and stuff like that, where there's no bones in them, and that it's like,
Oh,
some have
it's
like
like
none in their leg, like their right leg, and that, and there's this doctor these two doctors that are running around trying their best to fix them.
So they've lost their bones, basically.
It's
that scene in Harry Potter.
visually, it's like the bones have just disappeared. Like certain bones, like it's like their leg or their arm. It's different ones for different folk.
Geraldine,
Huh.
What were they doing at the time
Isn't
of their accident?
do not
Well.
touch any of these people. I'm going to walk over to a doctor and see. Excuse me, I'm Professor Neville Vanderlight.
I'm just getting the name of the person. 2 seconds. Oh, good evening, sir. I am Ulu Ajay.
Oh my god, what a name! How the fuck do you spell that?
It's like I says, there's a mix of different cultures in this. Like it's based off real world. I'm assuming it's names from other places.
I have spelled that
and it probably is a sensible name that I put
Ali.
somewhere else.
Okay,
How do you spell it?
I will reveal it to you right now. I will show you it just so you can see them and make this reveal to you. There we go. That is how you spell it in the NPCs.
Oh, right, okay.
Oldjei.
It says none.
I've got nothing.
It's no showing. Anyway, that's how you spell
I
it.
trust you. That's fine. It's not going to come up. It's cool.
I probably butchered the name, but that's the name of the person in it, and I don't want to change it.
Dr. Ali, I've travelled here from the city. We ran into and then we'll look around. Is it similar?
It kind of looks up at kind of look up at you, and you can clearly see sleep deprivation in their eyes, and they just kind of run up at you and go, "Are you a doctor, man?"
No, I'm a professor. I study more research than medical science. I'm sorry, I don't think I'll be able to help with what you're doing. But we ran into something similar to this in the city, except much more severe, and onset was incredibly quick. How long has this been happening?
In the mines, we discovered like this chemical, and the Radiance Corporation moved in and decided to buy up the mines, and that was our main source of work. That and the river. Soon after, they blocked the river. They wanted everyone working in the mines. They own the whole town. It's when we started taking this, people that were handling these chemicals, slowly but surely, things were happening to them. They were like, their bones were becoming brittle. Parts of them were melting. I've never seen the like before. I don't know what kind of chemical is doing this. It makes no sense.
And there's no treatment then? No, even removing people
Your
from the
thing
mines?
is literally just spinning as you're speaking to him.
It wasn't even switched on. I pull the plug out of it. Ignore that.
Keeps going.
Oh my god. This is quite.
This is embarrassing. It's malfunctioning.
I swear this never happens. Okay.
Please, madam, can you help? Can you see the person's wife is kind of like setting up a chair for somebody that's like, literally like arms and legs are just like doing this. There's no bones in them. It's like just their body and their head, and it's like they are in pain and fear, and they're just like in some like makeshift or what do you call them? The beds for moving folk. Leo, remember? Say if you were moving them.
I think it was. Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the kind of the letters things, but not like that. I know what you mean. Like the movable bed things. Yeah, those things. I know what you mean. Yeah.
I just can't remember the name of them for the life of me.
Stretchers.
Thank you, Jim. James.
It's a stretcher. It's done from brooms and like a sheet.
And you have remained uninfected despite working in close quarters. I'm looking at them. Are they wearing gloves, mask, protective gear?
They are not, however. If each... Sorry, Sally. Are you helping them or not?
I would like to go whilst he's talking to doctor. I want to go talk to a patient.
Ooh.
So you helping with the stretcher whilst you're talking to the patient?
Yeah.
Busting out some reps.
I don't need any help. I can do it one-handed.
I actually help with this stretcher. It's like the patient's screams. The screams!
Screams. Are you in the mines?
Screams in the mines. The screams in the mines!
Is that where you got hurt? Is that where you've lost bones?
You kind of see that they're just no there. Like, they're just repeating the screams as they're like lying there in pain and agony. It's like that kind of like level of pain where you can't even think straight. You talking to them is annoying them, like giving them a headache from the sound of your voice. Like, just
Bad that I want to poke him to see if he feels like slime. I'm not going to, but I want to.
you poke him.
No, I don't poke him, but I really want to.
I was going to say, it's that kind of one where your finger slips in the holes
like the
left.
fart goo.
It's like putting your finger through the Play-Doh and it just leaves the big print that you've done. And Lee, what was it you asked again?
My question, I just asked about the chemicals. I'll ask if they have. My question was whether or not they're wearing gloves, masks. You said no to that. My next thing was going to be about: does this town have taps like running water and stuff, or how do people get water?
Yeah, they have water. They have running taps and that. There's water.
Okay, I don't really have any more questions for the doctors, to be honest, because I think I've got what I need.
And we see the doctors touching the patients.
Yeah, the doctors are touching the patients, but I will point out that you guys know they might get infected with this, but it's like they are paying it by third. Like, from what you've seen, it seems to be touching the chemicals themselves seem to do the most damage.
Yeah.
You don't know. If they handle these people long enough, they might start to get affected.
So where do they come in? Where do they actually come in? Because these are obviously patients that have been here a while. Where's the patients that are like fresh from the mines?
You can ask the doctor this, and I will just assume you asked them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's friends and family bring them in. It's like they come home, they sleep at night, and then like maybe the next day their arm's not working, and they bring them in. I don't know what's going on. It's just it must be that chemical, the Undark.
So where is your modern day language? The enemy department.
I used to work in the mines. I quit as soon as I seen this. I wasn't handling that stuff. These people needed my help.
So where are they getting the new workers from if this is the whole town?
This isn't the whole town. You do realise it's about 10 folk that's in here. But there are people still working the mines. They're just slowly getting ill.
Okay.
I would assume that what we've learned is perhaps a concentrated version of this chemical. But the Undark is the word you use. Is this the name they've given the chemical?
That's what they're calling it. It's cause it undarks. Like, it's light, it glows.
Understandable. Do you have a sample? I'm not skilled at medicine, but perhaps I can deduce...
No, why would I keep this stuff on me?
I thought perhaps you had a lab, but not then I look around the hospital and realise, no, they will not have a lab in this hospital. They are basically palliative care. Okay, they are.
Yeah, this is. They don't even know. Like, he's not even successfully doing anything. He's just trying to do stuff.
I actually, using my chemical concoctions, could make some painkillers for these people.
Yep, I will say that does take you to
sleep-inducing. Sorry, I won't say pain. I'll say sleep-inducing kind of painkiller, and I will say to him, and I will spend some time doing that. An hour or so, as much as I can make.
I'll say use. Yeah, I'll say use are just generally helping for the next hour, unless Sally wants to do something else.
I just have a question. Are there any children that have been affected by this?
No. We've not had any kids come in.
Okay.
The kids don't work the mines, so.
Little tiny pickaxes.
As horrible as this place is, child labour's like for the woolen mills and running with newspapers. It's not quite the. It's not actually. It's turn of the century. Yeah,
Maybe.
there are kids here. It's like,
Fuck those kids.
Fucking kids.
there is a child in the corner crying.
One of the
as
doctors
it's like
is a child, just to be clear.
that doesn't have ribs.
Oh,
That made me sad for this
God.
imaginary child. Okay, that kid's getting a double dose of the painkillers. This is going to be really fucked up.
So
Yeah.
as you are doing this, unless Sally decides to go somewhere else during this time, he's doing the painkillers, talking, supporting.
Geraldine, why don't you
Good.
take this device next door, next to the shop, and check the food, and if you could run water and check the water supply and see if it contains traces of this element. And also, don't drink or eat anything while you're here.
But I will always say that there is one kid that's healthy that's like clearly visiting their sister that does this for you. And so they're healthy because like you're asking like people with jelly legs to run around.
Just to clarify,
Not all of them are like that.
That kid that is healthy is racist as fuck, though, just so everyone knows. Like, he's making fun of Dr. Ali's name, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so I'm going to go next door to the grocery store then and
Well,
wave
she's
the
doing that.
wand.
We're going to switch back to James and Rach, who
helicopter.
is now invited up into the office. He's kind of go in and there's this elevator. It's like you're kind of, if you've ever been in Blackpool Tower or that, so your big mechanical elevator, like back before they were that efficient, it just kind of like slowly rises you up the building.
Yeah.
And you kind of come into this office where it's like and the floor is carpeted. There's a big nice desk, a big leather chair where there is a big older man with a moustache that looks exactly like the person you saw, Rach. I wasn't sure if you were listening because
yeah. No, I am sorry. I'll say, John, that's the man there, him.
Okay. I'm going to walk in and go, hi there. I'm glad to make acquaintance. I'm just really here to find out about a dress.
I'm just trying to remember how you looked now.
I'm shabby clothes.
Madam, can you please tell your servant boy to not address me?
No.
I'm going to turn to the man and say, he is not a servant boy. He is my dear friend John. You will address him as such.
It's my name is John
Okay.
Van McKenzie.
John, I don't think I provide any clothing that you would find suitable. However, I may have a job for you if it could get you out of your hard times.
We have come to inquire about a green dress. I'm going to describe to him what the dress looks like. I believe you sold it to a lady the other day.
The Radiance Corporation does not take any liability for any damage done by its goods outside of our warranty, which she did not have.
I don't really care about that. I'm just, the dress killed her, basically.
I assure you that our materials do not kill people.
That's the thing. It had a substance on it.
You kind of see him like staring you down. It's like,
green.
excuse me 1 second. He kind of picks up the phone.
I'm going to take the phone off him.
And I'm going to go.
I will need you to make a move if you're going to do that.
I'm not. Okay.
A move. Okay, I've got none, so I'll have to roll just 2 dice. I got a 5, so I got a mix.
Cool.
Got a 5 and a 2.
You get the phone off him and he's like, security! Security!
Hush! I'm asking questions, sir.
I am the man that should be asking questions here. You enter my building, you take my phone off of me after making these ridiculous accusations.
What exactly?
Your ridiculous accusations. Please leave my office now, ma'am.
I made no such accusations. I merely want to inquire about this dress.
You assert that the dress murdered someone, as if clothing can spring to life and strangle someone.
No, it melted them, actually.
Right.
I do
That's
not
fine.
make clothing that is inflammable. If she stepped into a fire, it is her problem. Maybe she's spontaneously
no,
concerned about this
no.
condition. I
No,
cannot believe you
melted.
would
She just
accuse
became.
the Radiance. Leave now. At this point, you kind of like
She
see the.
became a splodge of,
I kind of
well,
want to make a try and make a
skin
sway
on the
roll.
floor, really.
See if I can get him to open up a little bit, but I don't think I can now.
You can still make a sway to see if you can somehow fix this. But I will say this was the mixed result. Like you're getting information, some,
Or
but yeah, like you can get sway to get something that you want if you
right,
get 6, but you'll not get better than this without a 6.
right. I won't then. I think I'm going to turn around to Eleanor. I think we've outstayed our welcome. I think we should leave.
I just want to inquire about the dress. All I need to
Yeah.
know is
Yeah. We do
where
have.
did the dress come from? Yes, that's what I want to know.
We turn back to and say, we have information that you might have known about this dress.
It was a white dress that we got and we dyed it green. That's what we did.
What was the dye you
The
used?
dye.
That's what we're concerned about.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Or perhaps the materials the dress was made out of may have harmed her. I can
We're
assure
just
you it was
curious
not
to the
undone.
dye that you've used. We're not blaming you for anything. We would just like to see the dye, please.
No. Get out. You did get a mixed result. If you got a 6, yeah, you maybe would have got that far.
Right.
But this is your mixed result, unless you try a sway roll. But I will say the consequences will be more severe if you fail this sway roll.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I guess we've absolutely outstayed our welcome, and I apologise for any inconvenience or harm that we caused.
I'm also going to say, because of the stressful situation, you both took a mind harm
Right.
from this.
Brain
I'll
harm.
also say you guys have as well, because like you saw kids.
All right, okay.
Great.
Uh,
Brain.
So I'll turn around to Ellen. I think we need to cut our loss here. We've got some information, but perhaps Geraldine and Nellie has something.
I hope so.
Maybe we should go see them.
This man is useless, and then I'll walk out.
So
Yeah.
you kind of meet back out in the street, and I will say, Lee, water's fine, food's fine.
Okay, I will spend an hour making chemicals. Do they work? Is what I want to know.
But I will point out one of the kids did tell you where the mine is.
Yeah, I've got my mind stuff written down. I do have stuff. I did make some notes.
Oh,
When I get to them, I say, I believe they're using a dye, which is making the dress kill people.
Yes. Did he talk about the dress at all? Did he?
He didn't say anything except rudeness. He was a very
He did
awful
hint-
man.
he did hint he actually had. He did have a dress that he used in what was a dye that was used on the dress. So
I wonder perhaps if they were trying to make a dress that glowed in the dark to be eye-catching, and instead
Possibly.
concentrated
Very
the thing
strange
that's
thing.
melting bones.
Yeah.
Interesting.
melting bones.
Yes, and he'll hold up his hand like the floppy hands that we're meeting.
All right.
Oh, so that lady in the place was just an extremely severe case of the blob.
I will say,
Yes, like periods. Yes,
Just-
it's like that. Aye.
just because of the time.
Who the fuck calls periods the blob?
You not heard that one before? I've heard that before. Sally's flew heard
Yeah,
that one before.
I
as well.
used to call it that when I was a kid. Like, not
Oh,
a kid,
Blob.
a teenager.
I will say,
Really?
because of the time, you do
Jesus
know
Christ.
that the mine is where you need to go.
Yeah, yeah.
You have had
Yeah.
enough information. It's just in case you want to search Mordant Springs more. If we were doing
Yeah.
a 2-shot, that'd be fine. But you literally have one more location to go to.
I get it, yeah.
Let's go. Man.
We look back and forward about this.
So when you said I saw a cave before, I basically saw the mine in my head, right? Yeah.
You just wouldn't have been able to process it as a mine at that
Yeah.
time.
See, that's why I was asking along. See if I can get it. See if I can cut corners.
Was the old man that you spoke to, was that the guy from your vision?
Yes. It
Oh
was,
yeah,
wasn't
you
it?
left when they were doing their RP.
I
Yeah.
did have it on. I was watching on my phone, but like I also spoke to Yvonne briefly, so I missed a bit. But that's cool. Yeah, so that was the
Yeah,
man you
that
spoke
was
to.
the guy.
But did you treat him with due respect so that he was willing to help us as he sent word ahead to let us into the mine?
No,
He was very rude. He refused point blank to have anything to do with us.
sorry,
He
Eleanor.
threw us out,
We
actually.
can pretend
I
that we're with the
apologise.
hospital.
Oh, okay.
That is
You could guess, you could go
wonderful
in.
idea. Yes, I will say I'm an associate
Uh,
of Dr. Allais.
Me and John here would have to stay away because they obviously know who we are.
I doubt they will have sent word of your appearance to the mine. Surely not. We'll try.
Okay.
But-
No.
Sorry, I thought you meant you go talk to the guy.
No, we'll just go to the mine.
No. Go
Okay.
to the mines and we
yes,
can pretend that we are medical staff if they are not wanting us to go in. We can say, oh no, the hospital have sent us just to do a welfare check.
To collect a wonderful welfare check. Yes,
We can do that, yes. That's actually quite a good idea.
If you're trying to look like medical staff, you do know how to look like medical staff because you were just there.
White coat.
But I will say
Come on,
you
Doc.
get outfits. Some of you get doctor's outfits. Some of you get the old mining gear.
One has a
I
canary
would never been
in a
seen
bag,
dead
in a
in the
basket.
mining gear.
I am dressed exactly the same in my kind of like my upper middle class suit, but I have a stethoscope, and that's it. That's all I took with me.
Got a nurse's outfit on.
Yeah,
My pants.
So,
I just have the white coat because
I walk briskly ahead.
So as you approach the mine, because
Buttons won't do up.
You make your way towards the mine shaft. A large hole bored crudely into the side of the mountain. Passage within is held up by large wooden beams and illuminated by the flickering of oil lamps. The shadows of miners are projected around the jagged rock, their forms twisted and grotesque in the bending light. Suddenly, a man in a full-body protective suit breaches the threshold of the light in the cave, walking towards the lot of you. He has a rifle drawn over his shoulder and breathing apparatus strapped around his head. In a moment, he will spot you unless you act. What do you do?
I was just going to approach. Are we ducking? I duck.
Use to choose however you approach this.
Actually, fuck this. No, I was walking. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. You guys can do what you want. Hello, I've been sent by Dr. Ulu and LA to gain some samples so we can hopefully help the townspeople. Sorry,
He kind of like lifts up the rifle and he's like, Ulu, quit.
We quit the mine.
He's been looking after some of the injured folk in town.
Yes, that's what
Who are you?
We're just here for a welfare check to make sure there's no sick people. That's all.
Professor Neville Vanderlight of the Colton Vandalites.
I will say someone make a swear roll. They'll get an extra d6. Whoever wants to do it, whoever thinks they're strongest at it. I will point out this is a drastic situation. You want to get this successful.
I have a 2.
I've got 2.
I have none. So,
Cool. Do you have any? Does anyone have drives in it that has the?
I don't know. I don't have my.
I have drive and cunning.
I've got sway. I've got 2 in that, and I've got 3 in my cunning. So I can roll like 5 dice or something.
Yeah, you can do a lot. So can James do a lot. However, Sally, you do not have a lot in that.
I'll roll
Didn't think I did.
I'll roll 66 and just max out.
66. 66.
66. No, 6.
Yeah.
66.
I'd rather
the maths.
69.
Hey! I got a 6.
So
a 5,
you have
a
1
5.
success.
Yeah.
So that you have succeeded. Okay. There's no one in the mine right now, but I lost a couple of them a couple of hours ago. They might be in there if you can find them.
Do we have to wear the protective gear? I didn't realise it was quite so dangerous.
Yeah, the gas masks are over there for higher ups. He kind of looks at you.
I'm going to grab one anyway.
Sure, shit.
So you take one of the gas masks, please.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I put one on, and to my nurse, my extra large nurse wearing the extra small uniform, she gets one. I do not make eye contact as I'm doing it. I hand it backwards.
Oh, thank you, darling. Put it on.
He goes very red. Gloves. Is there perhaps a map of the mine, or is the people still working then? I'm sorry, I'm not.
He kind of like hands you a map. It's
very handy. Thank you very much. That's all I need. Is there anything else we should do?
I think so. Can I get your weapon?
Hey.
I am. If I'm not allowed a mask, I'm going to put my top up like that. Try and cover.
Give the man the mask. Of course, look,
Mhm.
my associate here has worked mines for years. He requires this. He is a surveyor of sorts. And puts a mask on. And
So-
this, and I'm trying to work out what the hell Rachel's character, who in my mind is dressed like Mrs. Peregrine from the School of Misfit Children. So
Pretty much.
yeah.
I was thinking it was
She's
like
an investor.
I
Ooh.
was seeing it as Mrs. Doubtfire,
Oh, yes.
everything being goth.
This
Rachel,
is a
I was
potential
imagining you
investor.
much
We must
hotter.
make her okay. Let's make sure she's okay.
Right. So we'll
Ask
get
on
masks,
YouTube.
yeah.
We're all gimp.
So as you enter the mine, I'll move it to the scene now. 2 seconds.
This is where we all die, guys. Lovely game. I've really enjoyed it.
I really have rather enjoyed being a Neville
This is-
Vanderbilt.
As you go in, it's not like a mine you've ever seen. It seems like there's green blood oozing through the stone. Like it seems to be like the mountain itself is bleeding. If anybody can make me a survey or a sense roll.
I can do sense.
I'm going
Rachel.
to come round to Eleanor and I'm
I
just
can
going
do
to like.
sense. I've got a whole bunch of drives in that.
I
I'm
will
gonna-
give the assist action.
I'll
and
roll
I'll pull out the
4
machine, like,
dice.
I'm assuming it's fucking spinning like mad again, yeah?
Okay, your assistance. I'll use 5
Very
dice.
Sorry, James, we spoke over there, mate. What were you saying?
I want. It doesn't matter. I was going to turn around to Eleanor and say, "Does this look familiar?" Hitting back at your vision. That was all. But
It does look familiar to
Yes,
that.
very much. Yeah, I rolled 2 4s, a 5, a 2, and a 3.
So that is mixed success.
Yeah, I
So-
got one of the 5s on my drive dice.
So as she's sorry, if you've gotten a 5 on your gilded die,
Gilded,
restore
that's what I meant.
restore one of your drive points.
Okay,
Um,
then I would have used 2 guild points.
So as you walk into the cave and that, you kind of get like an otherworldly presence, and then it's like you kind of see like mirages in the cave, kind of like wandering around, and you kind of see a miner looking at you, but it's like there's no face, he's translucent, and then you just suddenly see a mouth appear on the face and go up to his head, and a high pitched scream right at the lot of yous as it just like blasts through the mine.
That's the scream the thingies were talking about in the
Yeah.
hospital.
I am going to say that all of yous are taking a
Some
hit
brain
from
damage,
that.
yeah.
I mean,
Shit, that's my second brain damage.
I can
I've
actually
had a
reduce some of
few-
these. But anyway. On myself, you guys are fucked. I'll be fine. Yeah, cover my ears. Did he disappear?
I'll try
Is
and
it just
cover
still
my ears,
screaming at us, or?
You kind of see it trail. This is where it's the mixed success. That if you got full success, it would just swim. But you can kind of
Of course.
follow it if you like.
Perhaps we should follow, but at a distance.
I think it's our best option.
Yeah. Do I get like a scarf? Because that's my third one.
Oh yeah, you get a scar.
You
Yeah.
witty.
So
Right, chick stick scars.
tell me how it is to do with your mind. This scar.
Right.
So you need to move a dot from one spot to another and explain why that is, and it's to do with
Right.
your scar.
Okay. So where do I go?
Right, and so your sheet is yours. So you have like 1 dot in control, 2 in sway, 1 in read, 2 in hide, 1 in focus, 2 in sense. So you need to take one of those dots away and put it somewhere else on your character sheet. And you have to explain why this situation has made you do that.
So
Geraldine, did you bring your weapon with
I
you?
am going to.
Not those
um,
weapons.
Boing.
We become such carry-on characters when we do this, don't we? Like immediately, like yeah, fucking.
We're going to be serious.
One away from. Was it hide? No.
Yes, you could do that. And where are you putting it?
I do one away from.
You're moving the dot somewhere else. Basically, it's basically how this scar is affecting you.
It was very amusing, yeah. Yes, where you put it. Of course, yes.
It's because I didn't hear what James said, so literally all I heard was the Scott going, "Where are you putting it?"
A phrase that we've all used so many times.
I would say if you're removing hide, maybe.
I also think about making sense because maybe it's damaged my hearing and it made my control a little bit better.
Okay.
Because it's about hearing, but my focus, my control is or focus, something like that, yeah.
Okay. So it's as in, yeah, it's like you've kind of steadied your nerves to it because of what's happened, but you also feel like you're not able to, you feel like you're seen no matter where you are.
Yeah.
And with that one, I will say that you make a lot of noise as you're doing things. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like the when you're shooting and that, but it gives you a bit of focus there. So you continue down the cave as you follow along. You notice that the green liquid is becoming more and more apparent as you kind of continue down. As you start to see piles of mush, twitching fingers, eyes rolling on the ground, watching you, always watching. Mouth talking, tongues writhing.
I don't think these people are dead. I think they've just been reduced to.
I don't believe they're dead either, unfortunately.
I feel bad about taking a sample of the young lady now. Probably cut off part of her body. What is the mining equipment they're using? Is it pickaxes and shovels, or is there any like dynamite?
There is actual dynamite here.
I'm just going to pick up a few of these, and some wire, and yep, that's right. Just going to put them in here. We may need these.
What do you plan to do? I think destroy this mine?
I'm thinking perhaps when we get to the centre of this mine, there's going to be a terrifying monster, and I am not going to be able to science it to death, but I can perhaps set it on fire.
Fair enough.
I have a blade, so that'll always come in helpful.
I actually can science it to death. I've just read my character sheet. Yeah, I fully can science it to death. Never mind. I will maybe do. That seems like a weird thing. Let's see. I can spend a few minutes concocting a mixture that is acidic, explosive, flammable, loud, sleep-inducing, sticky, or toxic.
So what, you choosing explosive?
I'm actually going to pick toxic. Have I discovered? But instead of toxic, taking a sample of the green goo, is there anything I can mix into it that neutralize it, like an alkali or something that like seems to neutralize it in some way?
Sure, you made an antidote for your toxin as well.
Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, okay, cool. So yeah, this perhaps a strong enough dose to the sauce could perhaps slow it down, giving us time to, I don't know, pile these people up and take them away, or... I hesitate to say the word cure because they are literal bags of bones and eyes rolling around, but magic exists. But yeah, I'm just going to keep following.
Cool. Eventually, the cave kind of opens and you see this writhing beast. This abomination is a twisted fusion of a serpentine and cephalopod features, possesses a massive sinuous body covered in slimy and incandescent scales that constantly oozes that familiar substance. Within the dimly lit cave, the creature is shackled by heavy rusted chains that wrap around its scaled limbs, restraining its immense power. These chains are etched with arcane symbols and runes, bearing the trademark of eons. That's our brand name. The chambers housing the monster is a grim sight to behold. Network of intricate piping and wiring weaves across the cave walls, interconnecting through a series of surgically implanted ports. These tubes serve a dual purpose, both extracting the substance that drips from the creature's scales and injecting it with potent sedatives to keep it subdued.
If we let it free.
It is. You clearly see the thing seems to be in pain, whatever it is. You can't see eyes or mouths on it. It's just like a bunch of things like writhing, but you can tell this thing is in pain.
Yes,
what would this position be here?
I believe we have options here. Release it, as Geraldine says, but I don't know if it can tell the difference between us and the ones that imprisoned it.
I'm not sure.
Perhaps change the sedative to be too powerful to kill it.
Maybe give it some painkillers first. The ones that you used.
I can definitely go
Noted.
and investigate. I'll go over it, and I'm assuming it's going to be like canisters, or there must be a shitload of it. So like, I will go over and like science that, and be like, hey, can I do something to this? Can I make it like, as opposed to a sedative, a stimulant, or can I over sedative this thing and fucking kill it?
I will say that will require a focus roll.
Focus, baby. Cool. Is can anyone else focus or analyze shit? Are any of you guys smart?
Can definitely do that.
I have muscles. That is all.
I can do. My focus is real good, actually. Okay.
Eleanor, why
I'll
don't you
focus is
assist
best as
me?
well.
I will. If Eleanor can assist me, that gives me my 2 plus her 1, and then can I dump 3 of those point things into it for the 6?
You absolutely can.
Yep, you
That'll
do that.
be the last of your drive
It
for
will
that.
absolutely be. That will take me from 4 to 1 because I didn't use it last time. I used it for cunning or whatever the fuck that means.
Let's go teach. Go teach. Whoop. Go teach.
I got 1 6, a 5, a 4. Oh, I got 2 5s actually. 2 5s, a 6, a 4, and a 2.
We passed.
So that is success. So, what is it you're trying to do with turning this in adrenaline? Are you trying to like wake it up?
That's. I'm gonna say to you guys, like, it appears that from what I can do either, I can add some chemicals here, and this will basically turbocharge this thing, or I can put the lights out for. I assume I can put the lights out for good, killing it completely. It appears
Thinking
to be
maybe
dangerous.
maybe just put the lights out. So stop it from being in pain and stop spreading pain.
It could be
It
only.
doesn't sound nice, but it
I
sounds.
will say, remember,
simplest.
you are a occultist. You have things you can do, Rachel.
Ooh.
I wouldn't normally remind you of this, but you have things you can do right now.
Could you perhaps ascertain its nature somehow?
But wait, but that takes when I take a bleed.
Go and lick it then.
Lick it. See where it came from. Yeah, go lick
Oh
it. Go
wait,
touch it.
no, that's a body mark.
Touch it. Touch it.
Touch it then, yeah.
Touch it.
Do it.
Finger it.
Yeah,
So-
baby. Get elbow deep in that one point.
I will touch it very gently.
It's going to be pure pressure on this shit.
As you touch it, take this bleed damage.
Yeah.
Okay, now I've got 2 bleeds. Okay, then I will do the let them in weird roll thing.
And you kind of see it kind of being dragged out of the ocean by a bunch of people in jumpsuits and gas masks, like the eons written on their back as they kind of drag it up. You kind of see different people studying it, cutting into it, and like chaining it up and like ramming it. It does, but from what you have noticed from it, and specifically what you're asking, this is an intelligent creature. Can't speak our language, but it understands.
Aww, we need to
Okay,
sit.
I'll tell the guys
But
that.
I will also point out whether it understands that humans are the same, whether it thinks humans are the same
That's what I'm-
and wants to
that's
kill
what I
all
think.
of you, or whether it thinks that you guys saved it, so it's going to let you go. It's hard
It's a
to tell.
potential it could go 2 ways. So if we do
It's
kill
a one
it,
shot.
it would all be finished with.
Yeah.
Or we could save it and hopefully take it home, which is the ocean,
Yeah.
I believe, somewhere in the ocean.
I think
Then
we
what
found
if
our
it
house.
comes
Thanks for
back?
that.
If it comes back with like cronies?
My concern.
It didn't come in the first place, it was taken. So I presume it would want to stay away, so it wouldn't
I
want
don't know. Revenge
end
is
up
like
back.
Revenge is pretty satisfying.
But they're clever creatures, so I presume it would stay away, because, we're stupid.
There's multiple possibilities here. It comes down to a simple matter of, do we wish to release a beast that has been tortured by our kind and hope it won't kill us, or do we wish to end its suffering?
Maybe we should just end its suffering. Sounds the
So,
simplest.
1 for murder, yeah, okay.
Or murder,
No
I
murder.
vote and relieve the pain.
Euthanize, of course.
Yes, euthanize the creature, put it out its misery.
Oh,
I don't wish for it to be in pain, nor do I wish to die.
I'll be honest, I kind of want to see what it does when I turbocharge it. Others,
can-
how are you?
Hiya.
Hi, folks.
You're here for the finale when we decide whether to murder or be nice. So let's find out what we do.
Put it to a poll.
All the chat.
Oh.
Kill.
All of the
Oh.
one person that actually comments.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
We could always try and save it.
What do you want to do, James? No,
No, I
John,
want to release it.
want to release it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to release.
But I don't think we could just release it. I think we'd have to take it back.
How far is this place from the city? Not the city, the ocean.
It is a mining town, but the river is near the sea. It wouldn't take long for it
They
to
did
go to
say
the
they
ocean.
blocked the river, didn't they? Okay. So, nah, fuck it, who cares?
Here's an idea. We release it. We get it to chase us. If it's mad at us, we get it to chase us. You put the dynamite where they're near, and just throw it at where they built a dam to block the
Wait.
river.
We don't have any dynamite.
I did
No,
put
we
some
do, and the-
diamond, but I am against
You have
everything
to
in that
spend
plan.
time making it.
Okay.
I would rather
No,
release
in the
it and
mine,
we
there's
just hide
dynamite.
over there and then hope for the
Yeah,
best.
I think we
I'm
should
not
do that.
running from the giant monster. I feel that I am not as fast as the rest of you, and I would do poorly. And also, throwing dynamite at dams isn't the way to destroy them. Also, we don't know where it is.
Should we just save it?
Yeah, save it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Um,
about
I won't
Ah.
hide or anything. I'm gonna stay there and try and have a conversation with it.
I'm into it. I'm not. I'm fully hiding in like a cupboard or something.
Yeah.
So I go over.
I'm going to stay back.
I go to the injection pumps and put some chemicals in so that within, I'll give it like a tick countdown. They should all kick in about 5 minutes and just turbocharge and see if we can break the chains. Not change. That'd be weird.
Cool. Yep, you set all that
I
up.
hide
Rachel's
behind
staying.
I hug her real tight.
will
I
say
don't like
you
to
all got a
right in
chance to
front
go
of
and
it, but I'm
hide.
near enough to have a conversation with it.
Cool. As it wakes up, you just see it going boom as it smashes the chains as if it's nothing, and it just kind of like
Oh, shit.
wriggles over to you. And roll me a sense.
Oh, Rachel,
Sense.
I'm
Okay, my
I'm
sense
hiding.
is quite good, so I'm gonna roll 5
I
dice.
will
I'm gonna
point
use all my drives
this
because I'm
roll
nervous.
a
Important.
Dump
Yeah.
everything you have into it, Rach.
Yeah.
I am.
Weirdly, we got raided by 5 people, and there's now less people watching than there was before they raided. Did one of yours?
I got a 6.
I
got a 6.
Yay! I switched off because my phone died.
Oh, fair enough.
As it kind of comes up, you can't speak its language, but you get a connection for a second,
What language?
and you could feel appreciation.
Don't
it
worry,
just
we're
kinda,
not going to
like,
hurt you.
Climbs
just
up
want you to go
over
home.
past you. It's not interested in saying that. It doesn't
Okay.
harm you. It just kind of runs out.
Have fun, get
it's
home
good.
safe.
Climbing across
Bye.
ceilings as it kind of does it.
That's pretty cool. So yeah, it's fine. Just wants to go
So,
home.
We will head
It
to
also
the
sends
conclusion.
its love to it.
As you hear it tearing through the mine and the screams of the remaining miners, the
Yeah.
town bursts into
Conclusion.
flames. Okay, sorry.
The conclusion, you return home as you hear on the radio about how a mysterious explosion seems to have destroyed the town you were just in. You know the truth. That creature killed everyone except you guys.
Oh.
It's what you get for being cunts.
There was
Um,
children in that town, Sally.
Yeah. You only know this because the CEO, like writhing in agonizing pain, tells you this as his
I don't
last
feel so bad about that.
The children screaming, crying, it's all of the city being destroyed as it makes its way back to the ocean. It doesn't leave that town, it just goes straight to the ocean from it. These are the ones that harmed it. These are the ones that was hurting. The newspapers come out, kind of like talks about how Candela Obscura may have been behind the explosion, interfering with the mining operation, how they were investigating into things that they shouldn't have been, how they didn't approach health and safety or the police about these possible vicious rumours about the Undark that has been brushed under the rug.
Get the blame for everything.
The Radiant Corporation
we
says that they are going to bring in a new CEO and apologizes for the overlooking of the possible terrorist attack. It kind of says in commas, and essentially over the next couple of days, yous are vilified by the news, but the government never does anything about you because the government knows the truth. The government knows that it owes you a great debt.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, you do.
I will point out that in the time of it, you also investigate Eons, which is it's like an organization that it studies this. It's like the inverse of you guys. Like they want to study this stuff. They want to bring it out into the light. They want companies to be able to do what they want with it. They want to investigate it all. They are a problem for the Candela Obscura. So, what does your character do over the next couple of days before we finish up?
Spend it in the
Probably
gym.
not.
Why go back?
I'll get back to you, Matt. Right? Finish this.
Why go
She
back
just goes
to
back
my
to her life.
red lamp
And-
district and just perform and
Perform what?
Everything.
perform and provide pleasure.
What was your job?
We've just had character development.
This whole time you've been a hooker and you've never once mentioned that. That's weird.
I do well. I'm a character's a musician and I have good fingers.
Oh, okay.
Oh! Now you see it, now you don't.
Devil will
Disappear.
catalogue everything that he learned. The mines, he'll describe the creature and its anatomy to one of the Candela Obscura's resident artists. Any samples that kind of remained viable, you'll kind of like hand in.
I'll say also your uncle's mad at you because he lost shares when they dropped over this whole incident from the Radiant Corporation.
Did they specifically identify us, or was it just the Candela Obscura?
They did. The government never mentions you by name. It's all in the PR for the company.
Yeah.
They're basically going, you caused the explosion. Which did.
Kind of did. Yeah, whatever. I'm not.
It's nice to not have to kill things.
Yeah, for a change. Yeah. I think at this stage it's like we know there's no point in like trying to muddy the water, so I just lay low and don't like respond to any rumours. Anyone asks me, I'll be just like, yeah, I was there just doing some. Actually, I might. Can I get away with denying being there? Because it wouldn't be video evidence of us being there, even if they're naming
You could. There is no such thing. This is just newspapers that are getting paid from the corporation to
I know. I'm going to use the dude that I knocked out and be like, yeah, I was like knocking him out.
I was sitting
Shouldn't
on
have been there.
dudes. Anyway,
Yeah.
here's
I
what
was
charged
sitting on
to
Yeah,
him.
sit
you
on
actually
dudes.
did hear that on the radio where he's like, yeah, she assaulted me and stole a part of the dress. I was just trying to do my job. I've got a wife and kids.
Is the dress and puddle of been have they disappeared or?
From the resource that James knows, James found out that they destroyed all evidence of it. It's all been swept under the rug. As far as they're concerned, it was a toxic material, and in the mine, the entire thing is basically being buried.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, so yeah, beyond that, I just lay low and.
But for everything the government puts out to defend you, they're not defending you, but they're going to know this corporation did so bad. There is about 50 articles.
It's, yeah, you get it's clearly the truth, and then you get all the think pieces and the kind of like the propaganda. And it's, they must have done something because I've read 15 articles in these like newspapers that they own that say these things, and then you get like,
Exactly
one
what's happened.
absolutely not
They
their
have
fault.
sank their money to protect their PR.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, so keep quiet and wait for the next assignment because this one didn't lead me to what I was looking for.
Before we log off the Twitch, how did everybody find that? Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think it comes
And
across
it-
as stripped down Cthulhu, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I love stripped down Cthulhu.
I will point out like this scenario that could be other things. I know that there is influence from Blades in the Dark and Vason.
Oh yeah. and-
So I feel like this felt very Cthulhu, maybe even just because it was me as well.
I'm a big fan of simplified systems, and actually getting to finish things in one night's also pretty awesome. And I'm a big fan.
I
of
do
systems.
think it's.
Never
I
happened
definitely
to
think
Burroughs.
they took. I think it's like a mix of Blades in the Dark, Call of Cthulhu. I've not read it, but EZD6 is something that some other people have mentioned. Jason, and I think I said Blades in the Dark already, and D&D, because there is a wee bit of D&D in this as well.
But yeah, it's open to like doing lots and lots of cool stuff, and like just the fact you just go somewhere. I'm always a big fan. See the clues thing. I love that in games. It's like you go to an area, do some rolls. Here are the clues you need to get you to the next bit. See when they make it like it's so possibly hard to find things.
Yeah.
That's a ridiculous mechanic. Whereas like you got a good roll or a half decent roll. Here's enough to get you going.
You've even seen with it, because you've got the same clue multiple times in that, because you were doing, like, you've had more than one opportunity to get the clues. And also, it's easy to get a mixed result. It's failures not that common, but mixed results are all over the place.
Yeah.
And,
but no, it makes sense, absolutely. I'd like to see some more of it, and I think once we get to grips with the system, like,
I'm looking forward to the full system coming out, the quick start, and I obviously had to homebrew a few things because I wasn't sure how it worked properly, or it was like it maybe hasn't got an explanation yet for certain things.
I'm interested.
It is a quick start after all.
I'm certainly
I enjoyed it.
The marks. Yeah, it was solid. The mark system, I'm interested more of how that works. Cause...
Yeah, I like the idea of the scars. Like, I actually really like that. The fact that it changes your stats, but you have to explain why your stats are. It's a bit annoying to do that on the spot. I should have probably just said, "What are you moving?" And then he could have done the switch, and then he had to explain it later.
Yeah.
I will say
it's a good thing. Glad I got a chance to actually do that. Pretty cool. So yeah.
So that chemical concoction thing, it seems ludicrously overpowered because that covers so much. And I'm like, I could just do like a list of bad things.
There's a lot of role play things to it.
That's true.
And it's like I did make you roll for things to administer it and that. So if you crit fail it, miss.
One of my friends messaged me to say that they were interested to see how this game played out. So I'd like, when my phone isn't dead, I'll message him and see what he thought of it.
Well, has he already subscribed and gives his Prime subscription?
I think so.
In that case, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I was going to say, go fuck yourself, but seeing as you've done those both things, we love you.
I'll say the opening I felt was way too much talking from.
Yeah.
I felt like that could have been like a paragraph.
Yeah.
It's like we could have just switched to the her dancing in the green dress in the dark. It's all the inventions you could have, but then these are things that'll get swung out, and I could have used my own prerogative to down it. I just didn't want to modify it too much from what it was.
That's always a danger. It's like something we've all learned, especially as DMs, is sometimes you go in too wordy. It's like it does not matter. Like literally, here's your scene. As you said, market, they're selling all kinds of wares, a couple of criers, and then boom, straight in there. As you said, paragraph, and that's it. Absolutely fine. Just set the scene. Well, you know, whatever, it's in your game, man. They're trying to build a world, aren't they? So.
Yeah, set the scene, tell a story, and conclude that part, and then the next scene.
I'll also point out it's a quick start.
I have to go, guys, so I will see you later.
Right.
We'll leave it. We'll talk about it another time. We might do it in our next chat session.
Au revoir.
Bye.